From pickdogs.com and sportschatplace.com. With me, I have Jeff Jeter and Rod Zawacki. They're going to trade some paint and talk some NASCAR. We've got two races on Saturday. Got the Hooters 250 and the Baptist Health 200 Truck Series race. Boy, it's getting better than that. It's back-to-back NASCAR. Hopefully it's not like baseball where they stop selling beer after the seventh inning, right? You know, the game goes into extra innings. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? I don't know how this would work, like after lap 150 or something, they stop selling, you know. But there's two races. What are you guys doing? Don't want to see any riots, but of course there's not any fans in the stands, so beer sales will be at a minimum anyway for this one. But anyways, Jeff Jeter nailing the winner last time out with Martin Truex Jr., and he nailed the winner the previous time with Kevin Harvick. He has hit two NASCAR winners in a row. Rod cashing with his man Kozlowski finishing in the top three as he predicted. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing great this evening. Just a pleasure to be talking some more NASCAR. This has been a first time doing the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series, and looking forward to it.
How about you, Rod? How's it going there in Canada? The heat is on.
Going not too bad. It's really hot, like 90 degrees here in Canada, well, at least where I am, anyways.
This is my wife is terrified. She caught a gecko in the kitchen. I guess I don't know if you can see him. He's about an inch big. Can you see that?
Yeah.
He jumped on her, and it's like you got to make sure he's got air to breathe in here. But we will have the gecko release party. It's like there's millions of these things all over the place. Anyways, tragedy narrowly averted there as the gecko has been captured and will be on his way back to his natural habitat.
In the pineapples, no doubt. So
there you have it. But yeah, so where's this race at?
Well, you're in Homestead, Miami Speedway. This is your home track,
so
there, my friend.
Homestead, I imagine, in mid-June, probably about 655 degrees on that pavement. You could literally fry an egg. Gonna guess tires are gonna be at a premium once again this week just because of the heat.
Yeah, and they'll definitely be somewhat of a premium, but it's not going to be what we saw in Atlanta and what we saw at Darlington a few weeks ago. So the Homestead surface is not a cheese grater by any means, but we're going to we'll see it playing here as the race progresses. So
well, so we have two races in the same day. How much time is there in between these races?
And typically probably an hour and a half, if that. It's interesting because with the way the pandemic has, not allowed fans and so much media into the racetrack, I would imagine, when the Xfinity Series completes the race, they have a victory lane celebration. Shouldn't be too long because, like, right after that, they're getting the trucks on the grid on pit row, and they're going to be ready to go. So I would imagine in an hour or so.
Any drivers doing double duty here?
I did not mark any down for double duty tomorrow. They're the only ones I saw that were doing double duty this weekend will be Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch, but both of those guys will be in the truck race, and of course they will be racing on Sunday.
All right, so before we get started with the picks, just the big question for me: what's the difference between this Hooters race and the regular Cup Series races? What exactly is the difference here? Different cars, different drivers? Is this the minor leagues? Is this just on the dirt?
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, in the Xfinity Series, it's basically your Triple A if you were to compare it to Major League Baseball, and let's say a little bit of Double A. These guys are prepping to get into the major leagues of NASCAR, right? We've got a few guys, just such as an example, who's going to fill Jimmy Johnson's ride next year in the Cup Series? It's probably going to be, either somebody transitioning from one ride to the other and opening up a ride, or somebody is going to have to fill that role, and they're going to naturally come from the Xfinity series. So that's just kind of how it works, So, but the cars, the Xfinity cars do not have as much horsepower as the Cup cars. A little bit different of an animal to handle, and they're set up just a touch different. But the general idea at the majority of the tracks is basically the same. So that's really about it.
Well, let's get to this race in particular. Rod, seem to know your way around Hooters in general. What do you think about this particular Hooters Xfinity race? Are we talking winner chicken dinner here with Hooters?
For me in this race, I'm going to fade a big name. I think it's a huge fan favorite. It's going to be his only race of the year. You're going to see Dale Earnhardt Jr. Racing in the number 8 car in this Infinity race. So him as a fan favorite, everybody's going to bet on this guy hardcore. And I'm going to fade him hardcore. My pick, I like Justin Allgaier in this race. And there's 2 head-to-heads for Justin Allgaier. I'm going to take him to beat Earnhardt Jr. at plus 100. And I'm also going to take him to beat Austin Cindric at minus 115. And I'm going to take Justin Allgaier at plus 650 to win this race.
Jeff, what are you looking at here for the Hooters race? And how does Dale Earnhardt just get to go in there? The 8 car. He was 88, right? Wasn't his old number?
Yeah, but his grandfather Ralph Earnhardt raced the 8, so that's where that all came from. And Junior used to run the 8 car when he was with Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, and then obviously after the passing of his father, and that company dissolved, and he went to Hendrick. He became 88. So, but anyway,
I ate 9 tacos. Does that mean I could drive the 9 car? I don't really understand how you can just.
Well, if you went out and got a NASCAR license and a NASCAR hard card,
that's all it takes.
And a ride, you could put yourself right in a race, man. It'd cost you way more money, but it's but anyway, he owns Junior Motorsports, so he's the boss. Justin Allgaier. Just like
how much money did his father leave him? How much money did he take in on that inheritance?
I have no idea.
All right, well, you get on with the race. I'll research this one. We'll see exactly how much.
Yeah, it's there. But there's no doubt. Chase Briscoe, he's the outright favorite to win this race at plus 225. He's been just phenomenal since we've been back from the pandemic break, and he was great at Las Vegas earlier this year. He had a really good race at Bristol. And he beat Kyle Busch, at Darlington, and Darlington compares to Homestead track wise. I wouldn't say tire wear wise, but he outright beat Kyle Busch at Darlington this year. So, Chase Briscoe at plus 225, have no problem with. I'm with Rod fading Dale Jr. I love Dale Jr. He's one of my favorite drivers, but he's not been in a car in this type of package since last year, and with no practice, no qualifying, and just hopping in and saying, "Hey, let's go." I think, I'm seeing Junior at plus 300. There's just no way. I just think there's better value of picking guys who are in this car or in this particular, Xfinity car. Another guy I really like is Noah Gragson. He won Bristol just here a couple of weeks ago. He's been very solid this season. He's a top 5 car. I'm getting at a price at plus 850. I'd go all in on Noah Gragson. And other than that, long shot play, I'd take Harrison Burton. I found him at plus 1,300. He's starting on the pole for this race. Give me some Harrison Burton, man. It's track position is going to be key. to this race. And, I'm all over. That's a great price for Harrison Burton. Other than that, I'm actually going against Rod on this Justin Allgaier versus Austin Cindric pick. I got it at minus 115. I like Cindric better in this matchup. I mean, he's outrun Cindric, outrun Allgaier a couple times even this year. I just think Scar's just a touch faster. So, but that Bristol race, Cindric got in a wreck like lap 3. And I want to see him come back here and see if he can show up Allgaier. Other than that, and I just mentioned Noah Gragson at plus 850. I also like Noah Gragson with a top 3 at plus 190. So other than that, that's really all I had.
How much do you think Dale Jr. is worth?
I'd say plus 600. He still has solid equipment.
No. How much money do you think he has in the bank?
Oh, gosh. He's not worth $1 billion, but he's under that, and between.
Yeah, he's not quite halfway home to the billion. He's at 450 million.
Yeah, and it was honestly, last year he was flying in for the here at Bristol for the night race over at a private airport and got in that plane crash. Me and my dad, we're about to go to the Xfinity race. We get this, phone call like Dale Jr.'s been in a plane crash.
Yeah, this private plane and helicopter, all bad news for NASCAR drivers, right? Then Allison, didn't he die that same way? Helicopter crash?
Davey died at Talladega flying his own helicopter. He was going to go surprise a couple of guys that were testing down at Talladega, and he didn't survive that plane crash. And then my favorite driver when I was growing up, Alan Kawicki, was flying here into Bristol, and they didn't de-ice the wings properly. And before they landed, he died right over here. And I was like 7 years old. And my mom actually heard that boom, that crash that night, and she had to wake up and tell me, "Hey, your favorite driver's gone." It's kind of tragic, at the time, But Alan was a great guy. He owned his own team. It was different back, then in '92. He won the championship the year right before he died, and all that stuff. And so it was it's very special to me, very, very special guy to me. So, but anyway, so when I heard Dale Jr. went down that plane crash, it was like, here we go again. And thank goodness got out of it. So, but anyway.
So we got our picks here for the Hooters. Everyone's all set?
Yeah.
All right. Any matchups or anything you're going to throw in there, or we're all set?
I didn't like the matchups I really saw, except for Rod went Allgaier. Me and Rod are on the same matchup. Justin Allgaier versus Austin Cindric. Rod went Allgaier. I went Cindric. So we were trading paint on that.
Trading paint on that one. Go Allgaier. I think Cindric, he hasn't looked so good the couple weeks. He did start off the year really good, but he's had some slip ups.
All right. So we head over to the Truck Series race. This is just 200 laps, right? So a little bit shorter race than the other race. And, once again, Homestead Motor Speedway, it's going to be a hot one out there.
We're going to get a night race on this truck race. And obviously, the elephant in the room, Kyle Busch here, racing again here at Homestead. Chase Elliott's also in this race. We're seeing a couple of Cup boys come in here and, obviously try to steal the show. But, there's some hungry truck drivers, some hungry guys who are truck regulars that are going to be going after them. We just saw, Kyle got beat again, last weekend in Atlanta, last weekend in Atlanta. And now I'm ready to talk about this one. So.
Let's do it up. Rod, what are you looking at here in the truck race?
I'm gonna ride the same guy I did last week in this truck race, who lost by like that much. 0.02 of a second. Give me Austin Hill. He's been racing good all year. How many top fives, top tens? He's been right there. Lost last week just by a hair. So I'm going to take Austin Hill at plus 1,200 to win this race. I'm also going to take head-to-head matchup. I'm going to take Austin Hill over Moffitt in this race at minus 115.
And Rod, Jeff, what are you looking at?
Yeah, I'm right there with Rod at that Austin Hill at plus 1,200. I mean, that's a great pick. I do like Chase Elliott in this race, plus 350. I liked what I saw, last couple of races from him. I think he's actually he won that Charlotte race here about 2-3 weeks ago in the trucks, so definitely plus 350. I mean, I'm taking that all day. With a Cup regular here at Homestead who's got probably, he's got the most laps minus Kyle Busch on this racetrack. Maybe not in the truck, but he knows how to get around this place. The only one bet I found as far as the drivers versus driver, I found a field bet versus Kyle Busch. So everybody versus Kyle Busch plus 105. I'm in. The odds just say it. You got 31, 32 drivers against Kyle Busch. One thing happens, you're in. I can't believe it was even offered, to be honest. But other than that, as far as another driver versus driver, I'll take Matt Crafton at minus 106 over Grant Enfinger. I know Grant Enfinger, he won the truck race last week. But I do like I like Crafton in the sense. Crafton's, the last 3 races at Homestead, Crafton's won 2 out of the 3 against Enfinger. So I have no problem with that. And I have no problem fading Kyle Busch. It just takes, one flat tire, one pit penalty, one little thing to go wrong for 32 other guys to beat him, And I know he's a great driver. He's got probably the best equipment on the track. But, it's not going to surprise me if he gets out there and leads every lap, But the odds are in our favor I love that field bet at plus 105 versus Kyle. So that's all I got tonight.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, that's what I got too.
All right.
That field bet, I didn't see that field bet, but I like that. I would take that.
All right, so
if I see that offered, yeah, I would jump all over that. You got 32 guys against one? Nice. Give me those odds every day of the week.
You guys
you'll find you find these in these truck races. You will not find them so much in the Xfinity series, but if you go shop around, guys, like seriously, that truck race, you could find some field bets like that.
You guys want to recap your picks, Jeff? You want to recap your picks here for both races real quickly?
Yeah, we'll start with the Hooters 250 Xfinity race at 3:30 tomorrow. I've got I like Chase Briscoe to win the race at plus 225. I do like Austin Cindric, but I do like Noah Gragson more at plus 850. And I have no problem with you finding Harrison Burton to win the race at plus 1,300. Other than that, Rod trading paint, I'm going to go Austin Cindric in a driver versus driver over Justin Allgaier at minus 115. And I want to circle back to Noah Gragson for a top 3 at plus 190.
Rod, you want to recap your picks?
Yep, in the Hooters race, I'm taking Justin Allgaier to win the race, plus 650. And then I'm taking Justin Allgaier head-to-head to beat Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Austin Cindric. And in the truck race, I'm taking Austin Hill to win the race, and I'm taking Austin Hill head-to-head over Moffitt at minus 115.
Yeah, and in the truck race, I've got Chase Elliott at plus 350. I'm right there with Rod on Austin Hill at plus 1,200. I've got the field at plus 105 versus Kyle Busch in the truck race. And I've also got Matt Crafton in a head-to-head against Grant Enfinger at minus 106. And that's all I have.
All right. Well, there we have it. We thank our guests or our co-hosts, Jeff Jeter and Rod Zawacki, for joining us here for Trade and Paint. Jeff will be back with us Sunday morning as we preview Sunday's Cup Series race at Homestead on our regular morning live show with the guys. So we will see you guys tomorrow morning at our regular 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time start for our regular live show. And then, of course, we'll see you again on Sunday as we trade paint once again with Rod and Jeff.
One
Jeff
other
looks,
thing.
Jeff looks like
just one other thing. We have a doubleheader on Sunday. The Xfinity Series will be turning back around.
How am I going to sleep? You got me now. Now you got me. That is, Jeff Jeter sets the hook.
I meant to say, I should have said at top show. We do actually, the Xfinity Series is running a doubleheader in their own regard. So they're going to run the race on Saturday afternoon at 3:30. And then they are also going to run at 12 p.m. on Sunday. So maybe on the live show, we'll give a couple quick hitters. And then, obviously, we're going to go into our Cup Series picks on Sunday morning. So
we'll all go bass fishing. I mean, this is crazy, man.
It's crazy. Busy weekend this weekend for sure. There's no doubt. So
have a great night, everyone. Hopefully, if you didn't catch the live, you'll catch the replay, and you know that we'll be live every day at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and of course, on these other NASCAR races, stuff like this. We'll just trade paint whenever we have the opportunity to do so. So subscribe to our channel. Have a great